Always got the balance right. You can see that they're playing with confidence, and the expression side of the game is certainly there, and we need to keep that. There's things we can work on and keep improving. We've been together 3-4 weeks, so we want to keep striving for more. But it's great, the excitement part of the game, and goal mouth action is what we love.
Can I ask you about your goal? Off the shin, but I reckon you meant it.
Yeah, because I think that if you go with your feet, the probability of the ball going very, very high is big, because it's bouncing in front of you. Some people will say that it was not meant it, but it was actually meant it, because I knew the ball then would have gone straight into the floor, and Vicario there has to move with the ball, so I just tried to go across him to make him not able to jump and get the ball there, and he almost got it.
The red card is the big incident. After this week of all weeks, it's the last thing you needed, your captain needed, the club needed. Do you have an issue to solve with him now?
I just think it's the perfect storm. Of course it was today. It should happen. It is what it is. I think it's clear that the situation is. You have now seen it through 5 times just to be absolutely clear. It's clearly tried to tackle the ball. The ball just left, and then it's a follow through, and then unfortunately it's a red card.
Michael, 4 wins out of 4. This is going very well. You are the form team in the Premier League right now, the most consecutive wins of any side.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. The boys are in a good place. I think you can see that spirit-wise, confidence-wise, hungry as well. And it was another good win for us today. It was tricky. It's the first half. I thought we looked dangerous. I thought it was quite open at times, and then getting the first goal was important. Managing the second half is tricky at times against 10 men, but I thought we did that largely pretty well and finished the game off. So yeah, another positive day, and one ticked off, if you like, and we move on to the next.
You're keeping it all very low key, but when you arrived, the talk was, can we get into Europe? Very quickly that turned to Champions League. Now, talking to regulars outside, they're talking about, can we catch City? Can we win the league? Is any of that realistic? But more importantly, how important is it that you've just given that belief back to players and fans?
It's not about what's realistic, it's about what's in front of us, genuinely, and I understand it's gone well to start with, and we got to keep it going. So we'll see where we end up. We are where we are. We got games to play like everybody else, and we're looking to win as many as we can. So I'm not putting any restrictions on it or looking for a certain place in the league. I'm just looking to be as good as we can be, and in the end that'll sort itself out. But at the moment, things are going well. The boys are in a good place and they're hungry for more.
You were a Manchester United fan, aren't you? You had a season ticket in between your spells here. You know what it's like to...
Yeah.
Have you?
Still got it, yeah.
So you know what it's like for the fans to enjoy themselves. And I guess the question, part 2 of that question is, will you be needing that season ticket next season?
I'll need it.
You set that one up.
I'll need it regardless, because there's enough people wanting tickets. So, no, listen, I'm enjoying it. It's a great place to be, and I think for the supporters to be leaving here again, excited and bouncing down the street and coming out of the stadium in a good way is what we. That's what we strive for, and they should get excited and carried away and dream, because that's what supporters, that's what it's all about. So it's up to us inside it to be a little bit more calculated, but for sure that the energy and the noise and everything, that's what this place should be. So it's a privilege for us to be here, and the boys are responding really well, and the connection's great at the moment, and we've got to keep building on it.
What's it like for you nowadays, walking out and your people being around, patting you on the back, seeing the smiles again, the people you sit next to if you've got the season ticket? What does it mean to you personally? Is it a bit more than it would be for, I suppose, someone who doesn't have that connection?
It's difficult for me to say about someone else. I think it's just, I know what it means to me, and being here and working here and being able to make a difference here is special. There's no getting away from that, and winning games and feeling that atmosphere and the supporters. It can be magical, this place at times, so hopefully there's more.
Thomas Frank mentions it. Let's talk about the red card before we get on to Manchester United's performance and series of performances. Christian Romero, and we heard Guy mention it there to Thomas Frank, posted after the game last week where he had to come up at half-time ill, that it was disgraceful that Spurs only had 11 fit players to select from. Now they have one fewer for the next 4 matches because he got himself sent off. Correctly, in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Oliver gets it absolutely right. You can't tackle like that in today. And,
I'm sure 1 or 2 of the lads at half-time went in and said the piece. Well, I hope they did anyway, because it makes life really difficult.
And as the captain, this record of most red cards in the Premier League since he's made his debut in August 2021, how concerning is that? How worried should Tottenham be about that?
Very concerned.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it. He's going to have 4 games because it's his second red card this season. So, no, can
and
do
he could have
it.
had 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
From Manchester United's point of view, it's another win under Michael Carrick. Nothing changes, except maybe it did a little bit, Danny.
Well, you'd have been forgiven for thinking he'd just put the same team out, same formation, and he didn't. He made a great little tweak and it worked perfectly. 11v11, United were opening Spurs up and making...
Manchester United, who I guess helped on their way by Christian Romero, but even so won very, very efficiently, played against some very, very attractive football and are right in the thick of it now.
Yeah, I mean, on Christian Romero first... He can be a world-class, game-changing, match-winning defender, aggressive, dominant, and then in the next breath he can be a reckless liability. The problem is for Tottenham at the moment, the reckless liability is performing more often than the world-class, game-changing defender. You know, he's been made captain, and look, I've been sent off a few times, and I was captain as well. So you know, I'm not sat here from a sort of ivory tower looking down, thinking that sort of everything's perfect in my world, but he's just doing it far too often. And look, you know, there's no doubt Argentinian defenders, Uruguayan defenders, I think South American defenders have that real sort of horrible, nasty way about them. I love it, by the way. There was one played for Juventus when we were playing back in the day. Oh, he's called Montero. I can't remember his name now, but he was absolutely so tough. But he got sent off about 3 trillion times. You know what I mean? Every other week it felt like. And Romero, just his teammates needed him yesterday, and he's been given the captaincy. And he's been given the captaincy to bring, maybe to calm him down, to compose himself, just to give a bit of stability. And he's really let his teammates down again there yesterday. And obviously his words earlier on the week aren't helpful either. So on and off the pitch as a captain, he's not had a great week. And that obviously makes the game a little bit more comfortable, a lot more comfortable for Manchester United. But the first goal was fantastic. I mean, both goals were fantastic for Manchester United. That free kick, that corner that United scored was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely, so well worked, so well drilled, finding an opportunity. The way in which the sort of Tottenham player at the edge of the box just got sucked in a little bit, and then he played it inside him into the edge of the box. Really, really well worked. Coaching team take a massive amount of credit for that. And then I thought the second goal as well. I just loved the way that Dalot, we talked about Dalot a couple of weeks ago on here, and I got a lot of heat from United fans thinking that basically you've lost your mind. I'll say it again, I think Dalot has got something in him as a right back. Stick him at right back, keep a stable defence with Maguire, Martinez and Shaw, and I think Dalot will perform at 6 out, 7 out of 10, week in, week out, if he just simplifies his game and does what he did yesterday, just whip it into the box. It's the job of the others in there to be there. You just get it out your feet and whip it in. He put a lovely ball in, and it was a tough one for Bruno Fernandes to be able to actually manage and hit. But I'll tell you what, it was an exceptional technique. And look, I can't believe where United are.
No.
You know, if you think I watched them 6 out of those 7 games before Ruben Amorim was sacked, and the one after against Burnley when Darren Fletcher took over. And, I mean, it was terrible. It was shocking. It really was shocking. And what Michael Carrick has done, he's rebuilt trust instantly and faith. The players obviously straight away are listening. They're trusting in what the message is. And it's a complete about turn. And he's done more than that. The results are excellent. The performances are fantastic. Really good performances. Really, really good. I like what I see. He's rebuilt faith in actually the system of play in the 4-4-1-1 and the way in which United should always play.